Hey there, it's YoBo. Welcome to day 313, I think, of Life According to YoBo. No mess, no stress, no BS. Continuing in our series, I Know How to Act Like a Lady YoBo. I read the book. Steve Harvey was on it. But there's just one problem. I don't know how to think like a man. That's what YoBo's telling you. This is a difficult chapter for us ladies. It's entitled, When It's Over, Let It Be Over. This is difficult for us. But honey, we got to get to the point where we know how to tell somebody, kiss us where the sun don't shine, and keep it moving.com. Never let them see you sweat. But what happens when your dream becomes a nightmare? I was reading in a page from Dwayne Shedd's book, Encouragements for Your Endeavors. When it rains is this chapter. Sometimes it's going to rain on your parade. Sometimes it's going to rain on your dream. Sometimes it's going to rain on your goal. Sometimes it's going to rain on this perfect relationship. When those things happen, he says, he gives us some R's. First thing you need to do is refocus. You need to take a fresh look at your dream, because maybe old boy don't belong in your dream. When things are not going well, we may take our eyes off the real goal, off the main thing. Maybe we have put too much emphasis on the problem, he says. So refocus. Look at the problem. While you're looking at the problem, now you review the dream. Refocus, he says, now review the dream. Is it worth going through all this stuff? I know y'all got children and your children need their daddy. Is it worth all the work? Is it worth all the mess, all the stress, all the BS? Review your progress. Maybe you just need to move on. Maybe that's a good idea. You're going to do all this in your review. Your review can encourage you, he says. In your review, you may find an error. You may find something that you did wrong. That might be a good thing. In your review, you'll find what doesn't work, what can't work, the things that possibly could work if you're willing to do something about it. When it rains, when you get off track, return to your plan. I'm going to stop right there because we're going to get back into Life According to YoBo. But the main thing is refocus, review. Before you start cussing and throwing stuff and posting silly stuff on social media, take the time to review it. Take your time off the problem. Look at the whole situation. Now I'm going to tell you a story about someone who refused to review the whole situation. This was one of my neighbors, and she was dating a guy years ago. This is 100 years ago, back before I had children. She was dating a guy, and they lived in the same apartment complex, so you know how far back I'm going. She had the nerve to be surprised when it was over. And when it was over, she didn't want to let it be over. Because I said we were neighbors. I could see him come. I could see him go. Days turned to weeks. Weeks turned to months. Months turned to years. He'd lay up there with her. Whenever there'd be a family function, he wouldn't go. And every 2 to 3 months, they'd start this whole cycle. We got to argue again about why he didn't want to marry her. But he never would come right out and say, I don't want to marry you. What did we talk about in yesterday's message? Look at the signs. Learn how to read what he's doing. He don't want to go none of your family functions. None of your family met him. He ain't took you around none of his family. And he don't want to marry. I mean, y'all ain't got married yet. Okay? Years. Okay, well, when he finally did come out and just straight up say, I don't want to marry you. Lord Jesus, I was scared this woman was going to slit her wrist. What'd she say to him? How could you lead me on like this? Well, I'm looking out the window and I could see what was going on. She didn't see none of it going on. How could you take advantage of me? You know, his response was, you benefit from this relationship too. I made sure your rent was paid. I made sure your car note was paid. You got your toes curled on the regular. So don't act like you didn't get nothing from this deal. So eventually, he knew he had to move on. She was calling 157 times a day. He knew not to take the calls. She would go berserk on his voicemail, cussing him out in 15 different languages. She want to know why he broke up, cussing at her. Why are you not returning my phone calls? Why? Only reason she eased up off of this dude was because her mother got sick. Her mother got seriously sick. And she had to take all of her energy. What Pastor Jig said in the book? You got to refocus. She refocused. She took all of her energy. She channeled it into her mother's healing. As soon as her mother recovered, she picked up where she left off. What'd she do? She picked up by picking up the phone. Call him. Why didn't you call me and check on me when my mama was sick? Why do you see how we were doing? Why do you come by to see about us? You knew what hospital she was in. Why? Why do you send her some flowers? Why do you send her some candy? Why don't you miss me with that nonsense? Whoo, it's life according to YoBo. Whoo, this is tight. Come back tomorrow for day 314. See ya. Bye-bye.